in West Point and West Point Industries. And I, as Jerry Ledbetter said, think that someone that owns property or operates a business here should have a voice in local government and should expect us to communicate with them.
My name is Lalana Garrison, and I live in West Point. And Mr. Kelly, would you just say, have you received contributions from outside of the city? Because you didn't answer the question.
Yes, I have. I have Bill Scott, long-term friend Bill Scott, that worked with Wilson. His mother, Eleanor. Campbell Lanier. He has a business here in West Point. Craig and Luann Berlin.
Those outside of the city.
Well, I'll just tell you all of them.
Oh, okay.
And Gerson Robinson, longtime friend of mine that I've known. He has property on West Point Lake and runs a trucking company in LaGrange. That's it.
Thank you.
Vivian Hurd, resident of West Point. To all of the candidates, to show this group of people your dedication, if you're doing it for the city or for self-gratification. How many of you are active in your local, your neighborhood watch program? How many of you? Thank you.
Yes. You get some yes.
Okay, I want to get back on this about y'all visiting these schools and stuff, but I want to ask, if y'all make the mail or anything, y'all want to impose a curfew on these young children that staying out late?
All candidates, will you impose a curfew on children staying out late?
The answer is if we can create an ordinance that is enforceable, yes, I think it's a good thing to do.
At this particular time, I work along with the council to get, I think, a good police chief here in Chief Cato. And at this particular time, I think he's doing a fantastic job in getting our police department in the areas where they should be involved to hold down our crime rate. And I think it would be best if, before we did it, is for him to have a study and let it come from the police department and say, we should do this because it's getting out of hand or whatever. But I would like to talk with the chief before I voted for one and see what his thoughts might be.
I think a curfew is needed. No one under a certain age, and that needs to be decided, needs to be out late at night. It protects our children.
I think a curfew for underage kids is a good idea. There's just certain, my grandmother used to say all the time that after a certain time, nothing good happens. And it's kind of true. A lot of the crime, and we've had a lot of crime during the day in West Point, as many of you can attest. It's not just a nighttime issue, but certainly I think that should be addressed.
I agree that a curfew should be mandated for all students under a certain age.
And I would have to agree, and as a mother, my children knew that they had to be home before the street lights came on.
I think a curfew is a great idea and should be implemented here in our city, because not only does it help the parents rein in their children and know what they're doing, but it brings back a sense of family. Everybody's being at home at a certain time, talking before everyone goes to bed, and gives the parents a last opportunity to go over the next day's schedule with the children and hopefully focusing on their education.